When am I going to get smacked on the ass?
My husband.
Am I?
Smack him on the ass.
When's this shit happening?
Michelle, the Witch of Moon's Lane, and Moyra Major. How to witch, bitch.
Welcome to another episode of How to Witch Bitch, Michelle, the Witch of Moon's Lane.
Hi, darling. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I've got a voice like a man today. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, it's very sexy.
Oh, thank you. Before we get into today's episode, which is going to be really interesting, we're going to say hello to some new friends of ours on TikTok. John Fred. What a great, strong name. G'day, I'm John Fred. The Broken Baddie.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm instantly intrigued. And Potions in Progress, which is kind of cool. On Instagram, Cupid's Creature, Jen Rowe and Lynn Julian, which is wonderful. We've got lots of... Oh, we're still getting lots of comments about the penis. What a surprise.
I did get a comment privately saying that she was very concerned that we'd hexed something. And I said, the only thing we've hexed is Mr. Squiggle. So, you know, at the end of the day, if his little thing is broken in the back of the storeroom, I don't think they're going to really care.
I don't think we actually got fully through to the end of that anyway, because I think you were setting fire to shit. There was bits going everywhere. Eggplants were being pierced. I don't think we actually did anything other than make some interesting internet content.
Ben was in the corner with his legs crossed.
Ben was scared. Ben's the third wheel of our show. He's the one with the penis.
And he wouldn't let me borrow it.
No, he had his fingers crossed the whole time, so it wouldn't hit him. Anyway.
Okay, getting back to normal.
Right, so someone did actually make a comment saying at least he knows what's going to happen if he doesn't watch himself, which is always good. This episode was hilarious. That was most entertaining. Thank you, which is lovely as well. We do love your comments. We love everything that you send in, and we do read everything as well. So please make sure that you keep going with all those comments. And remember to share the podcast with anyone who loves spells, tarot, silly behaviour, anything that you would like. All right, today's episode we are going to be joined by Madi, who says that she Astro Travels a lot.
That's very interesting. My mother used to Astro Travel all the time. She was always checking on myself, and I used to go and stay at my neighbour's place, and the two of us used to get up to no good. Well, little girls, as in just watching TV we shouldn't have and things like that. And you know what? It's funny about eavesdropping because I was given... for Christmas, and here I was only 8, and I was given for Christmas a book about animals. And so in the book about animals, they forgot to read the whole thing because it told them about how they made little animals. So they were at the door listening, and they didn't know what to do because they heard us talking about, penises,
right?
And this
yes,
and that,
animals.
and all this type of thing. We're doing this, and they burst in through the door. Absolutely, what filth are you reading?
It's
and
the
they'd
book
had
you just gave
had
me.
a couple of drinks.
Oh.
And, it turned around and it was the book that they'd given me, and they were highly embarrassed and went out the door. And I think Mum started Astro Travelling after that just to check in to see what we were doing.
Nice. Well, I don't fully understand Astro Travelling, so we're going to talk to Madi and get a bit of an insight into it as well. Now, she sent us a message, and she said she absolutely loves us, so that's always very nice. She's always been a witch ever since she was little. But as become a mum, I've delved into the study and how it works for me. I astro travel all the time. I have crazy, vivid dreams, although they stop when things aren't going so great. That's good.
Well, that's actually you're actually controlling the dream. So that when you actually get more aware that you're dreaming, you can control it.
Really?
Yeah, and it's the same sort of thing with that Astro Travel. You can choose whether or not you want to, if you feel safe, if you want to go out or if you don't. So when you've been doing it enough and you're sort of like half awake sort of while you're doing it, you can actually control the dream. So she knows if something bad's coming up, she'll go, no, we're not doing that today, sunshine. We're going to switch that dream up.
Okay, she wants to also hone her witchcraft as well. Maddie's joining us. Hello.
Hey, Maddie.
Hello.
So for those who don't know, what is Astro Travel?
It's like projecting outside of your body, almost in a sleep state, but not quite. You can be nearby or in a room, but also I've been in to the past. Like I've been able to Astro travel into when my dad was a kid, into their old house, and I've talked to my nana before, and she died 12 years before I was born.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I reckon you could probably get into archaic, I can't say the word.
That's okay. We're not surprised by that.
Archaic records.
What's that mean?
Yes, I'm trying to figure that out.
Can you say the word?
Nope.
Okay.
It's AK.
Yeah.
Look it up. Akashic. There we go. I said it.
Oh, that's it.
Woo! Akashic records. There we go.
What does that mean?
Well, it's where every dream, thought, process is
Your
on a
house.
level that you can tune into, and it's sort of like the internet. Everybody can actually tune into it. So it has your past, your future. Everything's in that. It's just like a highway. So you can imagine, you work on the radio girl here. You can't see the radio waves that are sending music around to everywhere. Right, it's the same sort of thing. It's like the internet, but it's an internet for your life. So if you can actually delve into that, and a lot of meditation is with it, then you can actually go in and process your lives and things like that. So I think that's probably got a lot to do with people that come down and have they remember their past life. I think that because they're still on from the other side, they are accessing a little bit of the Akashic records. I said it again.
You did. How fancy.
How fancy today.
All right.
5 times in a row.
Yes. All right, so take us through. When did this start? There must have been quite frightening when it first started, I guess.
Yeah, because at first some of it seems like nightmares. I probably first noticed it actually after my first kid. I had him at 19, so everything started getting quite vivid after that. I'm 24 now.
I've noticed that when you have kids, and I'm sure you've probably done this too, that sometimes the dreams, because you are aware of you're looking after a little human. I would always have dreams that something was happening to my kids, and I'd wake up with that, and it was always like one of them was going to drown, or one of them was going to jump off a playground, all this sort of stuff, and hurt themselves. And I actually started asking other mums about it, and other mums were having the similar thing. And so there really was just the fear factor. And I think sometimes when we go to bed, our brains are still going in mum mode, and we just have that protection still going
and
on.
Also,
what have we missed?
We're sleeping with one ear open and
gosh,
one eye open as well.
Eye open,
yes.
Yeah.
Because
I think that helps with the Astro Travelling, because you're half asleep.
Yeah.
So does it happen every night?
No, not every night.
And do you actively know, okay, when I go to sleep tonight, I know I'm going to Astro Travel?
No, it's by pure accident.
Okay.
Do you find you're on your back when it happens? Because that's how I do it. I'm always on my back when I travel out. So for many years I would sleep on my side because I was really scared of it. Because my mum used to do it, and she used to go across and see her friends and all sorts of things. But yeah, which is quite crazy. But the first time it happened to me was when I was in London. I was staying, and I was on the top bunk, and I'll never forget this. I was 21 and I was travelling on my own. It was a very scary situation, and the fact that I had a one-way ticket I had $200, and my mum had said, if you leave, we're disowning you. And I said, well, can you drive me to the airport? Because I need to get there. I can't afford it. Okay, so she drove me to the airport and kissed me goodbye. 2 years later, I came home with long dreads and God knows what. But while I was over there...
What diseases you came home with, sorry.
I had fun, Moyra.
Good.
Lots of fun.
Whatever you want to call it.
Lucky for me, there was no internet cameras and...
Yes, that's always good. Now, back to the Astro Travel.
Yeah, so I did it then. But I always feel that it happens in times of great change, and it happened with you when you just become a mum.
Yeah.
And for me, my great change was I was in another country on my own, with nobody I knew, with no money, going, I need to get myself a job. Like, what the hell am I doing? And that night, I was so exhausted, I slept on my back, and that's when I Astro Travelled.
Wow. And so let's go back. The two things that you mentioned that I find absolutely fascinating. You went back to see your father as a child. Tell us about that dream. Yeah.
Well, I went to their house all the time as a kid. It was in Nanango, so middle of nowhere.
Well, you're going to say that. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. And I was close with my pop, but obviously as close as you can be when you live far away. But, I never met my nana, but I've seen her in my dreams, and I went back to when Dad was a kid, like really, really little, I'd say about 5. And I could see him having a conversation with his mum and dad. And it's because in dreams, generally you can't see faces, but unlike this, I could see their faces. Yeah.
But you don't see faces. I see faces.
I see faces.
Yeah.
In dreams.
I can't see faces in dreams.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
And some people only dream in black and white, which
Yeah.
is really
Yeah.
crazy to me because I'm like vivid color. I see everything. I see everything.
And did you, when you're astro traveling, are you reacting to those people in that moment, or are you just looking at it from the outside?
Most of the time, it's just like a fly on the wall. You're kind of just able to sit and observe, but also sometimes you're like mostly shocked about what you're seeing, so you have no words anyway.
And some people some people travel all the way out because they say you can look down and you've got a silver cord that's actually attaching yourself to your body to bring it back in, and others just float up on the ceiling and then go a short distance away. But yeah, I mean I didn't go far. I was just like hanging around, but my mum used to travel all the time, and other people have different experiences. But it's interesting because when people come back, say that they might pass on the operating theatre, they can go up and actually then describe how they were being saved, what the doctors were doing and things like that, which is an out-of-body experience, and then they found their way home. They often always talk about the cord that brings them back into their body. But, yeah, I find that fascinating.
It is very fascinating. So how regularly would you do it?
I reckon probably at least twice a week.
Wow. And are you vividly remembering everything when you wake up?
Yeah, when I Astro Travel, I do. But like in comparison to dreams, I forget most of them unless they're important messages.
And if someone is in the bed with you, do they know that you're astro traveling?
No, not at all.
So you still just look like you're sleeping?
Yeah.
Wow. Are you exhausted when you wake up?
Yes.
Is that just being a mum, or is that because of the astro traveling?
Probably both.
Bit of both.
All of the above.
Have you had any dreams, though, that you felt were really real, and then you kind of...
Yes.
Something's happened in the life and you think, I've done that before, but you haven't. It's actually been a vivid
like a
dream.
deja vu dream.
Yeah.
Deja vu. I think that's sometimes dreams too that we've had, that we've been to that place and we have. So we actually have, funny enough, a lot of us astro travel without realising that's what we're doing.
Okay.
So I'd go back to deja vu. When you go somewhere, you go, I have been here. This has happened before.
Yeah.
I remember being with that person doing the same thing, and they often have the same thing. I remember this as well, but we've never been here. Well, we actually have in a dream or an astro travel where we have had that experience.
Wow.
And it's interesting where people have had massive dreams where they've all been at the same event, and and they can connect it all up. I've got a friend of mine, he is not spiritual in any way, shape or form, doesn't believe in any of this, but he dreamt 2 nights before of 9/11.
Wow.
Yeah, we should get him on. He couldn't believe it. He describing to me about what was going on, what happened, and then 2 days later it happened.
That's freaky.
crazy.
That is crazy.
And I've had dreams where I've woken up and I've thought someone has passed, and they have. I got the phone call.
You've
and
had that as well,
ringing,
Mia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, I think that's been connected to the internet. Let's call it the
Super highway.
The super highway. And you're more connected. Most of us are a lot more connected than we realise.
Yeah, well, I like to think of it as in a big library of where you can literally pull out the history of a place or a thing that you're experiencing.
Now, also in your message to us that you said that you feel spirit is trying to connect with you.
Yeah, all the time.
Do you feel as though it's a certain spirit, or it is just spirit in general?
Well, I recently got a pendulum for the first time, and I asked what its name was, and it came out with Esther. And then I've been seeing in dreams, I've been seeing a tall, red-headed woman with long, curly hair.
Okay.
And
She's a goddess. She's the one that does Easter.
Esther.
and that,
Ishtar or Esther.
Okay. Yeah.
and that's the one that's connected itself to my pendulum.
Long red hair. She's Celtic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's good to know. I'll have something
She's
more
about
to look at.
motherhood and new beginnings and things like that. So she's the goddess
Yeah,
that's
that
coming
makes
in.
sense.
There you go.
Because I've got 2 kids now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there you go. So that's why you're getting that coming through for you. And how? And what else are you asking in pendulum? Like,
At the moment, just directions and what I'm missing, like signs I'm missing, because I don't know if I'm just assuming that a sign that I need to follow is going to be a super, super obvious one, but they're not. And yeah, just asking what I'm missing and what energy work I need to do at the moment. Mostly yes or no questions, obviously, but you can lean into, is it this way or is it this way?
you can use a pendulum too with an Ouija board or Ouija board if you want to, which is basically it can go into A, B, and it can start so you can actually start talking to it. So you put it up the top and you go around anti-clockwise 3 times, and then you just watch where the letters are going and you write them down until they make some sense. Yeah. So and then you have your yes and no on there as well. But that's another way that you can get spirit to talk to you through that.
That's cool.
Yeah. Before you do that, though, go outside, sit on the ground, and just imagine the white light coming through the top of your head and going through and making sure all your chakras, and that you let go of anything that's not yours, and that you're a pure vessel to work with.
Yeah, and with your white light at the moment, I've because I learnt the surround yourself with white light from you guys, and recently when I try and do it for other people, like my partner, it gives me a full shiver, like a full body shiver down.
I do the whole house, so I basically protect the whole house. So as soon as I go to sleep, I imagine at starting and I go anti-clockwise, the whole house is actually being, and I just look at it like, an armoured van, where all the shutters go down.
Yeah.
Just imagine all the shutters going down, and then I've got an invisible cloak over the house. So there's someone's
Do you
going to
do this
steal
every
anything.
night?
Someone's going to steal something, they'll go next door. Oh, that's
Yeah, I
terrible.
picture
No, I should do next door. I love my neighbours.
Yes.
I should do the whole street. I'll just do the whole
island. Do
island.
my house as well, thank
I'll
you.
do your house.
Yeah.
I picture it like a big bubble that surrounds.
There we go.
There you go. And so you're doing this to your partner and other people, and when that happens, when you're trying to, or when you're doing it, it's a full body
whole body
shiver.
check.
Is that something that you've experienced, Michelle?
No.
No.
But that doesn't mean anything. That just, if you've been doing it for a long time, and when I first started doing a lot of this stuff, I did used to feel a lot more. Now I don't feel anything. It just comes like autopilot. It's a bit like how I drive here.
Yeah, it's perimenopause.
I don't know how
as
I
well.
get here and go, how the fuck did I get here? Do you do that?
Yes, all the time.
Yes.
I know.
I went for a 40-minute walk today and I don't remember any of it.
Thank God, because I hate walking.
Oh, no, it's actually good to black that out, to be honest. Exercise is not fun. All right, Mia, have you got any more questions for Michelle before we let you go with your busy life?
Maddie.
What did I say?
Mia.
Oh my God, where's Mia coming from?
I know, because
I'll respond to it either way.
I know why, because Mia is the lady that owns where I work, where my shops are, and she's putting on psychic shows. And I got asked out before when you were listening, was I going to go into the psychic show? And I was saying I've got 2 stalls now, so I'm not going to do it. That's why. And you overheard Mia.
Sorry, Maddie.
So you're not going nuts.
Thank you. Well, there's every chance.
The only question.
All right, Stacey, what have you got?
Shut up, Dean.
As long as you don't call me Alice, I don't care.
Why? What's wrong
Who
with
the
Alice?
fuck is Alice? Alice. Oh, that's a nice one.
Probably more relationship at the moment. It's a bit a heavy side, and I'm trying to take away his pain at the moment. I don't know how to spiritually help that.
Sometimes it's not good to take away their pain. Sometimes it's just good to sit in space and hold space for someone. When you're an empath, taking on too much is not good for you, but it's also not good for your kids, because you're also not sleeping by the sounds of it, because you're Astro Travelling, as well as 2 little babies. So what you can do is you can just not sympathise, but empathise with them and just say, I understand what you're going through. But at the end of the day, you're there to,
Work they have to do.
Yeah, they have to do. Look, it's about, you can take someone to water, but how long are you going to stay there asking them to drink it? Do you know what I mean? This is something that they have to do themselves. It's funny because it's kind of like shadow work, which is
is an episode which we're about to do as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is for you. For you just have to be a partner. You don't have to be the psychologist.
And you're not trying to fix him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the problem with that is if you give too much away, you then will have resentment because there'll be, I'm looking after the kids, I'm looking after the house, I'm now looking after you, I'm looking after, and it sort of, it's okay for a year or two, but then it gets old.
And also you can also enable them to lean on you in that regard, and then there's no space for Maddie, Mia, Stacey, Chanel or anyone.
Yes.
Oh, Bruce Bryan.
Oh, Bruce Bryan.
Yeah.
Oh, Bruce.
What kind of, if you don't mind us asking, what kind of pain are you trying to take away from him? It was just an interesting way in which you said that.
I feel like it's self-worth.
Okay. Yep. So you're trying to build him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if he's not going to believe it, he has to believe that himself. So,
Yeah.
you know,
But then I guess with that self-worth, that comes with trauma from probably childhood experiences, that kind of stuff. So good for him to talk about it, but also you can do that quite positively by building his worth now. He has to go through whatever it is that he's dealing with, but you can be there. You can do the good stuff, like, yep, nice ass, everything else, whatever you want to say, smack him on the way through, whatever. But it's more so about not losing yourself in that.
Yeah, 100%.
I love if Paul's listening to this. He's going, when am I going to get smacked on the ass?
My husband.
Am I?
Smack him on the ass.
When's this shit happening? I'm bent over and I'm still not getting
Paul
it.
on the ass all the time. Usually it's get out of the house or hurry up with cooking or have you fed the dogs.
She's a dominatrix. Oh, there's another big word.
All right.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. All right, Maddie, we wish you all the best and thank you so
too.
much for joining us.
Lovely to chat to you.
Thank you for listening to the podcast as well, where it's still surprised some people do, which is great.
There's everybody out
Thank you.
there.
All right, all the best, darling.
Bye,
You
darling.
too, bye.
Thank you.
Wow, that was interesting. Really interesting. You would be exhausted, though. Like,
I travel. I've been having some really cool dreams lately. But that's what you do. So you can, once you realise you're in the dreams, you can change them.
wow. All right, well, let's see if you can get through the stars this week.
Aries, you're entering a refining phase. This urgency of the past few weeks have come up with a new strategy. This week asks you to commit wholly to what matters to you and chase the spark. Focus will bring new renewal. Taurus, stability begins returning, but you're not the same person you were. Something you recently realised shifts your priorities. Quiet decisions are being made for the long-term security. Gemini, your voice carries influence this week. People are listening more closely than you realise. Speak with intention. What you say now will shape the future opportunities coming to you. Cancer, emotional balance strengthens for you, so you may feel grounded after recent intensity. This is a week of rebuilding your confidence and trusting your inner guidance again. Leo, momentum returns, but this time it comes with wisdom. You're stepping into a more mature version of your power. Others may look at you for direction, so lead calmly, not forcefully. Virgo, clarity replaces confusion. Something that felt uncertain suddenly makes sense to you. This is an excellent week for practical decisions, planning and reclaiming control. Libra, relationships settle into their true form. You'll see clearly who aligns with your energy and who doesn't. Peace comes from accepting truths, not forcing harmony. Scorpio, you are quietly transforming. Others may not see this, but the internal shifts, you will feel them strongly. This is a recalibration. This is a recalibration. Recalculating. I can't say it. I said it the other night. I can't say it again. Trust this recalibration. Okay, fuck it. Just trust this time in your life aligning with your next chapter. Sagittarius, optimism returns. You may feel lighter, more hopeful and ready to move forward. A new idea or opportunity begins forming, so don't rush it and let it grow naturally. Capricorn, this week strengthens your foundations. You may focus on finances, home, a long-term security. Steady effort now creates lasting stability. Aquarius, mental clarity sharpens. Decisions that once felt complicated now feel very simple. Trust your perspective, it's guiding you correctly. And Pisces, you are reclaiming emotional strength. This week brings empowerment and renewed self-belief. Trust your worth and act accordingly. That is your stars.
And that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Madi for joining us as well.
Thanks, Madi.
Be sure to share the podcast with your friends. Feel free to rate it on your favourite podcast platform as well. 5 stars.
5 stars.
Is all we accept. No. Coming up in the next episode, we're going to talk about shadow work. We kind of touched on that today in this episode.
Yep.
And we're going to get into what is shadow work and how do you do it. Michelle, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dylan.
Woodwork Podcasts.